Hello everyone, welcome to the channel update for April. I hope you are all avoiding bad April Fool's stuff. There are very few good ones out there, as far as I'm concerned. I try to avoid it myself, so I hope that you have been lucky in that regards and are avoiding it yourselves. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk about what's going on the channel this month. So I think last month I thought that both Ayuden and Final Fantasy X would come to a close during the month, and they didn't quite. They will actually be finishing up within the week, and then we will be starting something new. They finish up a day apart, which is kind of amazing, considering the difference in video length, like the different number of videos and everything like that. So, pretty impressive overall. But I enjoyed my time with both of them, but I'm also glad that they are coming to a close and we can move on to other things. What those will be, well, you'll just have to wait and see. Other things going on, of course, over on Zerfall's channel, I'm playing, we're playing Illusion City on the MSX, which is a really interesting JRPG, kind of near-future dystopian, sort of cyberpunky type thing. Not exactly cyberpunk. It's kind of that genre of near future dystopian magical fantasy kind of thing. Um, it's like, I mean, I guess to a certain extent it's like Shadowrun but without the cyber part of punk. um, So like it's Magipunk maybe, I don't know. I mean, definitely not steampunk, obviously. That is something completely different. Anyway, it's pretty fun, and the animations are really nice. There's a lot of interesting sprite animations that I wouldn't have expected them to have included, and they did. And of course, streaming-wise, we have both Dragon Quest VII recently started with the completion of Dragon Quest II HD 2D Remaster. We are playing Dragon Quest VII Reimagined. It is going to be shorter than the my original LP of the PlayStation 1 version. They did remove some content from the game, primarily just like they condensed some of the dungeons down, changed around some puzzles, took out some boss fights. Interestingly enough, added in a few as well, which is interesting. So, and excised a few islands that they felt didn't add too much to the game, I guess, other than length. I didn't have a problem with the original game length. I wasn't like, I mean, until you hit the post game, really. But until you hit the post game, I felt that the game moved along fairly well. So, anyway, neither here nor there, but you can come along and get my comparisons because I'm using the maps and everything from the old Prima guide to find my way through. Mostly, being accurate, which is interesting. The things that I mean, I'm also obviously using that to see where things differed as I can. So that's interesting. But do come along and join us on Mondays. That is what we are playing. Wednesday and Friday Lego is back on. Last month I had some technical issues and had to cancel the streams a number of weeks. But that is now resolved thanks to my good friend and fellow streamer Cressens. He gave me an old video card that I could swap in there. I mean, I don't know how old, but just one that he wasn't using. And that has seemed to have taken care of the problem. I'm pretty sure the issue was the video card that I had in there was not liking my camera. I think that's what it was. Because I was having some similar issues with the capture card that I had, and the Lego computer is that's all old hardware basically. That's the old computer that I was using for recording. I just took out the things that I needed for the new machine, mostly hard drives, and the case, and rebuilt a recording PC. So that's what I'm doing my LP recordings on, and Dragon Quest VII streaming and everything like that. Also Spelljammer. The Lego is only on that because I also moved it to a completely different room, so it necessitated a different computer. But I just used my old hardware, and I think like I had both a capture card and a camera from Elgato, and I think the AMD video card that I had just didn't like that. Just didn't like that brand. So I've got an NVIDIA card in there now, and so far, no problems. So we will be back up to Lego speed with this week. I think it was only Friday last week that I got building, so we're back fully today, Wednesday, and this coming Friday, and going forward. So I'm excited about that. And of course, Spelljammer on Saturdays is still ongoing as well. That's pretty much what's going on the channel. So the big takeaway is new stuff coming within a week for the main LPs. Dragon Quest VII will almost certainly go on throughout this month, so I don't expect that to wrap up anytime soon. It is like, even with the condensing they've done, I imagine it's still going to be a long game. I think they've taken out a lot of the post-game and side-questy stuff, too. Like, the monster farm is gone. The casino is gone, as I understand it. And the town that you build, that is gone as well. So, mostly extra stuff. But some of the post-game stuff relied on that town, so I'm guessing that's gone, too. Some of the post-game stuff is probably still there, but we'll see. Anyway, that's mostly what's going on the channel. I have started on my VODs. I'm doing the collaboration thing. YouTube has a collaboration thing, so this would show up. These videos would show up in either feed. Whichever you're subscribed to, me or the VODs channel. However, I still need to get to 1,000 subscribers, so to be able to monetize these videos. So I would really appreciate people subscribing so that I can finally get to that point. It is slow going. I think it's been a year almost now, so it'd be lovely if people could subscribe to that the VODs channel and actually get me over that line. But in the meantime, the videos are still should be showing up in your feed regardless, because they are my videos. I've just figured that's an easier way of handling it. Hopefully get some more views to the videos as well. We'll see. We'll see. But that is something that I've been doing. Of course, the videos of Illusion City with Zerfall are also set up the same way, so they should be showing up in your feed as well, even if you're not subscribed to him. But of course, subscribe to both my VODs channel and Zerfall. I highly recommend it. And check out Crescent's streams. I will, of course, include a link in the description. So that's basically what's going on the channel. I want to really give a big shout out to those who are supporting me on Patreon, those who are supporting me with channel memberships here on YouTube, and Twitch subscriptions and bits. All of that goes a really long way to ensuring that I can continue to do this. I really, really do appreciate it. And this month is not an anniversary for any of those things, but it is an anniversary of the YouTube channel itself. I originally created the channel back in 2007, but I didn't post any LP stuff. I don't remember exactly why I created it. It might have been for some commentary, to leave some comments on videos. I did post some videos for other people that were just oh yeah, I can upload videos to YouTube. I'll just put them up there and share them. and they weren't like intended to go out to be viewed by anyone, but it was just like easier than trying to send the file to them back in back almost 20 years ago. Yeah. That is almost 20 years ago the channel was created. But the LPs started this month back in 2011. So we are coming up on the 15-year anniversary of Let's Plays on my channel. In that time, 17,000 videos, and that's not even including what's over on the VOD's channel now. Lot of content. A lot of content. I think I did a calculation some time ago. Obviously, there's a lot more now. On how long it would take to watch through everything. I think it came out to over 3 months. If you just, like, no sleep, 24 hours a day, watched everything. 3 months. So there's, there's a little bit of content here. Good time to binge lots of video games and stuff like that. I'm continuing to have fun. I'm very appreciative of all those who are continuing to watch and support. It really, really does mean a lot. And I'm looking forward to many more years to go. So, very, very exciting. 15 years of this thing. Hoo boy. Hoo boy. When you think about it, it's quite a bit of time. It's quite a bit of time. Anyway, that's basically what's going on for the channel right now. If you've been following me for a while, you do know that I do AD&D deity write-ups this month, because a few months ago we started on the Greek pantheon, the Greco-Roman pantheon, I should say, and the deity this month is Phoebe the Golden-Crowned. As far as I can tell, and it's not the easiest to get. I'm not the best at like IPA pronunciation, and I'm not sure how close we are, how sure we are of some of these. But as I understand it, the original Old Greek, like ancient Greek Hesiod pronunciation would be more like Phoibe, rather than Phoebe, which is more Roman. Actually, like not even Roman. Actually, I should say. Well, modern Greek, but also like ecclesiastical Latin would tend to be pronounced that, because the PH is an aspirated P, as opposed to the F sound that it is common in English and many other languages today. Interesting linguistic thing. P oftentimes does change into F. I don't know why, but it does, apparently. That's why the name of the Persian language today is Farsi, because the P in Persia, or Parsi, became F for Farsi. It's basically the same word, just over time. Anyway, one of the original 12 Titans, she kind of represents, and like the Titans again, like most of them were more like literary creations to connect up and give origins for the deities that everyone knew at the time, and connect them up and stuff like that. I haven't seen too much about it, but I strongly suspect that there were two great wars in Greek mythology, the Titanomachy and the Gigantomachy. Basically, the war against the Titans and the war against the Giants. And I strongly suspect that they came from different Greek traditions, from different regions, but basically being the same thing, just two different regional representations of it. And then as you got this Hellenized amalgamation across all of the Hellenized world, they kind of became two different things. Because there's a lot of Titan names who show up as giants, as gigantes. And it could just be mistakes and stuff like that, but I suspect it's representing two different things. I mean, like two different interpretations of the same mythological origin story or war. And then as Hellenization happened throughout the region, it was like, okay, now they're two different things rather than the same thing from two different perspectives. Anyway, she doesn't really show up in either of those, but she's one of the original 12 Titans. Um, Pretty likely a literary creation. So there's not really much written about her. Um, Bright Phoebe and Golden-Crowned Phoebe are two things that I saw, but she has no real connection to light because that's a different Titan and his spouse. Um, so the way that I like she was seen in some traditions as an intermediary. There's this tradition of how the Oracle of Delphi came to be controlled by Apollo's priests, and there's a like goes from Gaia Gi to Themis, I think. I'd have to go back and double check because I haven't written her yet. And then to Phoebe, and then to Apollo. Um, so obviously she has some connection to prophecy in that regard, and that's also like there's like this difference between heavenly knowledge and earthly knowledge. So I try to integrate all of that, and also just like what does bright mean? Well, someone who's bright is intelligent, so I decided to go with that as well. Um, so basically, like most of the long story short, most of this is just made up by me to connect these little bits of things that are kind of like tossed off literary things in Greek mythology that we know of. I mean, who knows what came up in oral traditions that were never written down, or oral traditions that were written down and just never were preserved through to today. Who knows? Um, but my goal with this is to um, create a pantheon that you can use in a D&D game. So you got to extrapolate out from all of this. But it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun mental exercise for me, thinking about, what these deities represent and extrapolating out from these little bits of knowledge, little bits of quotations and connections. Because again, like, you know, mostly they exist as family trees. Um, and that's that's really hard to nail down concrete stuff when it's like, what do you know about your great 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 grandfather if all you know is that they're your great 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 grandfather and you have their name, kind of thing. It's about it. Imagine trying to extrapolate out their lives from that, and little one or two other things stated about them. So that's kind of what I've been doing, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. A lot of work. These aren't very long entries, but they are actually quite a bit of work to come up with this, and a lot of brainstorming going on. But a lot of fun, to do, and that's what my current D&D project is. I finished up the monster mythology. Now I'm doing the Greek mythology. I'll do, when I finish that up, I'll move on to something else like Norse or Mesopotamian or Egyptian or something like that. There are other pantheons, and like Greek is one of the better covered in D&D, as is Egyptian and Norse, and not so much Mesopotamian, but like I feel more comfortable doing those because I have information about them. There really aren't people who worship them these days, whereas like when you start getting to Eastern faiths, there are still people who worship those deities. They are still living religions in a lot of cases. Same thing with the Native American stuff. Um, and it's like, well, I'm not, I am descended from Norwegians, so I have that connection to Norse mythology. I don't have any connections to Mesopotamian or Greek or Egyptian, but also no one, they're not alive. These are not living religions. And never mind like attempts to recreate them in modern, but like uh, Hindu mythology and uh, Chinese mythology and Japanese mythology and Native American mythology. I don't know those very well. Number one, I'm not sure. Like, I'd need to get books. I got a lot of books on European and Near East, North African mythology and stuff like that. I don't have much stuff on Eastern and New World stuff. So, and I'm not in those cultures either. So I don't know. I'd really want to like ideally collaborate with someone. At the very least, to have someone who is much more familiar, who can read over it and be like, okay, yeah, you don't want to do this. This is kind of insulting. Because you need to have a variety of viewpoints in these materials for the game, like alignments. You got your good deities and your evil deities and your neutral deities, so that they can clash and create situations of conflict for the players to resolve through their PCs, their player characters. And you don't want to do that insensitively. So, no one's really alive for these other, the European and Near East and North African stuff, so it's kind of okay. It's a lot easier. But the other is, it's a little. Well, I'd want to be careful about them. So it's one reason why like all that is further off on my radar if I ever get to it. Anyway, that's a lot of D&D related stuff. Once again, I want to thank everyone who's been supporting me on all these projects. Really does mean a lot. Keeps me going. LPs and the D&D stuff really does mean a lot. I want to thank you all. And before I wrap up, I do want to note that here, once again, here in the United States, we do have elections coming up. Some elections have already passed, but we got primaries coming up. So party nomination stuff. If you're not sure of your registration status or you're not registered, obviously if you're old enough to register, make sure that you check on that. Go get registered. Vote in the primaries. It is very important. The primaries are one of the best ways to influence the politics in your area, state, local, that kind of thing. And it means a lot, Look into your county council, look into your state legislature, that kind of thing. Do due diligence, look into these people, but keep in mind also that if you make what you think is an educated choice, they get into power and they suck, don't feel bad. You can be disappointed, obviously, but don't feel like you've screwed up. Because you haven't. You did the work. You tried. And you did your duty. Voting is a duty. It is a civic duty. Everyone should vote. Everyone should serve on juries. Those and taxes are basically the only duties you have as a citizen in the United States. And for most other countries, too. Some countries also have, like, mandatory military service, and that adds in another thing. But voting, juries, and taxes, those are your primary things as a citizen. Everything else is basically, up to you. But you should definitely, do your part. Get your voice heard by voting. Join a political party, even if you don't agree with them that much. There's no matter what, you're always going to align yourself closer to one party than another. There is all kinds of people who say that both parties are the same kind of thing. And honestly, surest sign that you should not be listening to that person. Someone who says that both parties are the same, and I'm not talking about like both parties are the same on this narrow topic. That's different. But when they're painting a broad brush and saying who cares, they're both the same, they are not. Absolutely not. I guarantee you that you are going to align yourself more with one party than another. And that can change over time, and that's fine too. Everyone's politics evolves. No one stays static, both individually and the parties. They do change. Opinions change. Public opinion changes. One of the primary duties of politicians, and they don't always understand this, is that they should not be chasing public opinion. They should be trying to alter public opinion. They should be trying to say, this is what I stand for, this is why, and this is why I think you should support me. Because I want to convince you that I'm correct. And either it works or it doesn't. You either vote for them or you don't, kind of thing. There's a very annoying strain of like consultants especially want the politicians to chase the public opinion as if that's static, as if that's unchanging. But we've seen just in the last couple of years alone that is the most disproven idea possible. So do your due diligence, look into them. The League of Women Voters oftentimes has good coverage on candidates. They publish for regions. I don't know if it's across the United States, but my region at least, and I've seen like my whole state, and it's like based on county or jurisdiction or things like that, because some of the races are very, very local. They'll have good summaries, good analysis, questionnaires to the candidates and stuff like that. And like, I don't know, like one of the easiest ways for me to narrow it down when there's a big field sometimes is like, okay, who didn't answer this? Oh, this person didn't answer? Well, I don't care what you have to say then. If you're not even going to bother to put your message out in this handy guide that is useful to everyone, then you are probably not going to be willing to do the actual work of the job that you were elected to do. So, not going to do it. Not even going to consider you. You got to put they got to put the work in. And if they're not willing to do that, you can dismiss them. That's my personal view. Obviously, like there can be extenuating circumstances, and maybe you just really like one of those people who didn't fill that out. Whatever. Go ahead, then you should vote for them. That's just like one of the things that I do. But get those League of Women voter guides kind of thing, and they're very, very helpful. And I'm sure, like, if you're not an American, if you're Canadian, if you're British, if you're German, Norwegian, there's probably similar things in your region as well, in your country, in your locality. Look those up. Make sure that you vote. It is one of the most powerful tools we have at our personal disposal to shape our nation. And even if you believe that you can't win, like you live in a state that votes 60% for one candidate or another kind of thing, you still have the power to shape the conversation by voting. And it really is important. So please do register and go out to vote. This upcoming general election in the U.S., is one of the most important that we've had. After, of course, most important was 2000. Second most important, 2016. Both of those didn't go well. So remember, it is very important to go vote. So please do so. Anyway, that's where we're going to wrap up this update video. I once again want to thank everyone for your support. Of course, names of Patreon supporters are scrolling by at the bottom of the video. You guys mean a lot to me. I really, really do appreciate all the support that you give me. Thank you very much. And I will talk to you in the next update video. See you then, everyone.